It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. 90% of them go smooth and are super profitable. What's your job gone wrong property management?
Job gone wrong.
Yeah, so we had a townhouse community, same type thing like you're saying, and we went and cleaned it. They hadn't been cleaned in probably a couple of years. You could just tell, like they were packed full. And I get a call from the property manager, and she's like, "Hey, Ryan, a couple of the residents are saying that their gutters are full of stuff." I'm like, "Okay, we do before and after. It's not everywhere, but we do some, I'm like, okay." So Brett goes out there, my business partner, gets on the roof, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, they're getting a bunch of like rotted wood replaced and painting done, right?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't been out there." Like, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, he starts sending me pictures. There's like paint brushes and rotted wood, whole pieces of rotted wood in the gutter, and paint cans, and like you could just,
you missed a paint can in my gutter.
Yeah, everything everywhere, and that's what it was. It was all from the painter. So we call them up, and we're like, I email the lady, and I'm like, telling her, I'm like, send her the pictures, and she's like, "Okay, well, thanks for letting me know. Like, I'll let everybody know that it's something from the painters." So about a month goes by, get another phone call. "Oh, so-and-so says their gutter's full." And I'm like, "Yeah, I bet their gutter is full. Like, we just had the spring flush, like all the seed pods are out everywhere." So we go out there. I tell Brad, I'm like, "Just clean it. Like, we'll just clean it. Like, I don't want to," like, he's like, "Okay." So we clean it. Week goes by, 2 weeks, call again. It's full again, same type of thing. So we finally go out there, and that's when I told her, I'm like, "Look, we're not doing this again." So she finally came up to bat for us and said, like, "Look, like they've done it. They've taken care of it." So we cleaned it. Everything was good. So we've done other properties for her. Everything goes fine with those properties. I haven't had an issue at any of the other properties we do for her. This year we go to clean that property again, clean it. We spend a whole extra day out there and actually rinse out all the grit that's in the bottom of the gutters because they're like pitch drawn. Rinse them all out with water. Get a phone call. "Hey, one of the tenants is saying their gutter wasn't cleaned." So Brett goes out there and looks at it. The gutter wasn't cleaned because it was hanging off the roof. Like, literally, the roof is here, and the gutter's like this, hanging off like that. And they're like, "Yeah, they have a guy over here that's trying to rehang the gutter, but he says he can't reclean it. We hang it because it's dirty." And it's like a 10-foot piece of gutter. I'm like, "Just tell him to clean it out." Like, just like we didn't clean it because it's hanging off the roof. Like, we can't clean it. We weren't paid to do any repairs, So because how their HOA is they clean the gutters for them, but the owners have to do the repairs. How crazy is that? Isn't that? I don't like, so because we tried to send them a quote to do all the repairs, and they're like, "No, they won't pay for that." So I was like, "Okay, whatever." So we go out there, go and clean the gutter, and then and the guy finally hangs it back up. And I tell her, I'm like, "Look, we can't clean that and everything." And she's like, "I know." She's like, "I hate that complex." That's straight up what she told me. She's like, "That's like the worst complex that I have to deal with." And I was like, she's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, so now we're going to put a clause in there, actually, that we were just talking about it the other day, me and Brett, that we can't, any gutter that's unattached from the roof, that we're not responsible for cleaning it properly because of liability reasons and stuff. So because of that. So
I think so. So I think it's
always blame it on the insurance company. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
It's those types of situations that make you really empathize with property managers, because you're like, "Oh, you have to deal with these guys every day." Like, yeah. And you don't hear from your great properties, but I'm sure you hear from this property every single freaking day about their lawn care and their windows and their this and their that. It's like, awful.